Welcome back to SaharaTV, and I'm so excited because right now in our studios I have an awesome Nigerian performance artist, visual artist, artist extraordinaire in our studio, Edoheart. Welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank you for being here. And Edoheart is here to announce the launch of a new fashion line that she is collaborating with some people on, and I want her to come and talk about it. So you can just, for our audience who may not know you, just, introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do first off.
Okay. Hi, my name is Eseohe Arhebamen-Yamasaki. I'm also known as Edoheart. I'm an artist. I work in lots of different mediums. So I do performance art, I'm a musician, I dance, I'm a poet as well, and I've worked in business for many years also.
And before we get on to the project, I also know that you are of royalty, actually. And are you like a princess within like one of your tribes? I don't know. Can you maybe explain that a little bit?
Sure. So the Benin Kingdom in Nigeria goes back many, many thousand years. And I'm descended from a line. So yes, in essence, I'm descended from a royal family, and we are specifically of the Ugu Kingdom.
Fantastic. I read about that and I thought it would be really cool to like talk about. So on to the project at hand. So you are launching a new fashion line. Tell us about this. What is it and what's your role in it? What are you doing in it?
Okay, so I've always been interested in clothing and in dress. I think as a Nigerian, as an African, fabrics and the way we look is very important to us. And I've always collaborated with other artists or worked myself to make the clothes that I wear in my performances. And while I was working for the United Nations Global Compact, which is an initiative that the UN created to make business more socially responsible, I just got very interested in how it is that we can change the world by making different decisions. And so I created this company. It's called the Style Diaspora. And our mission is to provide women's wear apparel and accessories that are working to solve different pressing global issues. And so we did some research and we realized that poverty is kind of the #1 global issue. So our first line is going to try and tackle poverty, specifically African poverty and underdevelopment.
So I guess what are the materials that you'll be working with to create this? Because I know I read that, a lot of the collaborators work within different fashions of art. What materials are you guys bringing together to create?
So for this first line is going to specifically be women's undergarments, a bralette and brief set. It's going to be manufactured out of silk, and we'll use traditional traditional African processes to dye the fabric, which are completely environmentally friendly and also very old. So it becomes really important to kind of preserve these thousands of years old traditions. We're going to be working with some local workshops in Mali and in South Africa to not only harvest sustainable silk that's a peace silk, meaning it doesn't harm the silkworms, but also we'll be, using these dyeing processes, like using a specific kind of mud to dye things brown, finding a specific kind of leaf that creates indigo, and out of which we can make green as well. So those are some of the processes.
Yeah, right. So I know that one of the themes is addressing African poverty. So how do you see this sort of addressing African poverty? Like, is it something? Yeah, maybe you can explain that.
Well, so one of the things that I learned while I was at the Global Compact, and that I learned in general from business, is that where you get your materials and who you partner with to create your products completely affect the economy locally and globally. So if we work specifically with artisans and craftspeople and workshops in Africa that would not otherwise have the ability to reach a larger market, we'll be able to affect some change by engaging with their economies and, you know, helping perpetuate these traditions.
Tell me, where can people go to find this sort of, your line? Where can they go to find it?
So when our line is up, hopefully you will all contribute to our Kickstarter. When our line is up, it will be at thestyleddiaspora.com. So that's TheStyleddiaspora.com.
And also, you have a long list of things that you've been involved in, and I know that you've studied in Japan and lots of other places. Maybe you can talk about how things that you've done in the past have led you to where you are creating this project today.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I've been lucky to travel around some and to learn from a lot of different cultures. Probably more than anything else, I'm really interested in how we perform ourselves through our different, out of our different experiences, and how it is that we represent who it is we are. And so to that effect, I feel as though there's a real opportunity to allow people who want to make the world a better place to perform themselves in that way. And, in a certain sense, you are what you wear. So I think that by providing things that one can wear that represent a more egalitarian society, a more just world that uses the diversity of style we already have, I think that that is making something important available. Yeah.
So maybe you can talk about some of the other things that you're involved in, or any other projects that you're working on outside of this, or anything else that speaks to, yourself.
Sure. Thank you. Well, so I have a new EP that just came out on Aquaba Music is the label. And it's called Soso Money Cock Please.
Then tell me say na so money day. Say na so money day. Say if you get it kobo. If you no get it kobo, then tell me say na so money day.
It's a bunch of remixes that different DJs from around the world, mostly based on the continent in Africa, did of one of my songs. And I also have a vinyl record that will be coming out soon. That's called Get As E Be. So I'm really excited about that. It's different beats that I made, and yeah.
And I also know that you are trained in Bhutto. Am I pronouncing it right?
Bhutto.
Bhutto dance.
Yeah.
Which is something very new to me. And I thought when I saw you performing it, I thought I was just blown away. And maybe you can, explain what it is and what you do within that. Is it?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
I'll try.
What it is.
Okay, okay. Well, I think the thing is that Bhutto is really hard to define.
Okay.
So that's a place to start from. But I guess the way I think about it is that it's a set of techniques that allow us to reinterpret our bodies by experiencing different states of being. So some of the motivations of Bhutto are concerned with other realities. For example, what does a plant experience? What does a silkworm experience? It's kind of an important tie-in with this line I want to create for the Style Diaspora, because if I worry about what a silkworm thinks or feels, I probably start to care that it might be injured in a process of manufacturing that I'm undertaking. So Bhutto often uses poetry also to help performers arrive at the states that they are seeking or questioning. So a Bhutto choreography might say something like, 10,000 leaves fall very slowly on your brain. And Bhutto will ask you or ask one to really let that happen, really experience it. And that moves the performer. And so that's what Bhutto, I think, in describing what it is or does, or
Wow.
how it's motivated.
That's awesome. So, and finally, you just made me think about something. I know I asked you about the themes that you're working within your new line, but just generally, what are some of the themes that you kind of think of when you're creating? You know, what are some of the things that drive you to your art?
The things that drive me to my art.
The themes.
The themes. Okay. Well, so a lot of my work is very concerned with with African identity, an African experience. I love patterns. I love that things repeat. And I think that when things are repeated, sometimes it can become very beautiful. I'm fascinated by personal stories, by unusual stories. African identity and experience is a very strong theme in my work. I often work on alternate realities and different spaces that people can enter or experience. And I'm also fascinated by the process of becoming something else, and you know what that is and what it means and when it happens. So those are some themes in my work.
All right. So, well, thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm really thrilled because I've been trying to get you for so long, and I know we've been going back and forth. So I'm excited to have you here, and I'm happy that you shared this new line with us. And also, we'll try to put up the website link, the Style Diaspora, right?
That's right.
The Style Diaspora. We'll put that link up. And so, guys, this has been Miss Edoheart, and she is a performance artist, visual artist. You guys should definitely be checking out work that is coming from her. And stay tuned to SaharaTV. We have much more coming up.